personal brand has become very important. Who you are, yes, you're a teacher, but the reputation that you have and the personal branding, what it's called in the marketplace, of how you represent what you do, what you believe about what you do, communicating that on social media. You've done that very well, because that's allowed you to even just increase and really just outreach your message to a greater audience, which is how I know about you. How did you develop your personal brand? What did you do to get your work out there so other people can know about what it is that you do?
So a good friend of mine who's a marketing kind of guru, we go running together. Quite a while ago, we were at a Christmas. I'd done so much reading in my Montessori degree after I'd finished my main degree that I'd just learned about children from birth to 35 years old. This journey of Montessori apparently goes on forever. I just discovered this new vision of what education and childhood is like, and where education begins. I used to think, school starts at 5 when you go to school. Before that, it's just playing around, and you play in the sand and pour water from one pot to another, and you get your hands wet, and it's all about. And I realized it's not about that. Those times, that 0 to 6, those sensitive periods, they are so crucial. I had to stop myself from becoming a preacher to my friends who had children, say, hey, by the way, you shouldn't be, and I thought, God, all my friends are going to hate me here because I'm not even a parent. So I've got to stop that. And I stopped doing that. But we would go to friends' barbecues or picnics and whatnot, and I'd take along some Montessori materials just for fun. I would have them out, and all the kids would be round, and then it would just be happening. They'd all just be learning without even realize they were learning. And I'd go over to the barbecue, and we'd be having a chat with a couple of parents, and they'd say, hey, what are those things you've brought over there? Those bricks and blocks. And I said, oh, well, that one over there is the pink tower, and this creates, a sense of. Anyway, we went running a few weeks ago, me and my friend who was at that barbecue, and he said, the other day when we were at that barbecue and I saw what the children were doing, I said, oh yeah, it's pretty good. And he said, what you should do? He said, you should start your own YouTube channel. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you should record that kind of stuff one at a time, and you could be the go-to person from when people want to know about early childhood or how parenting at home and education at home. And I thought, that's not a bad idea. So I went home that day and I just quickly made a very terrible, shoddy, bad quality little video about something. I can't even remember what it was. And I put it online. And a few people engaged with it and said, oh, it's great. I'm going to make one of those at home and I'm going to try that out. And, I didn't really have a presence online at all. It just grew from there. And I thought, I'm just going to continue down this route. I'm just going to keep giving it away. And I had to think really, really carefully about this. And I still stick by this today, that if you know your purpose, my purpose was, I know there's a lot of kids out there who could do with a bit of a hand on how education should look for them in terms of giving them a choice and some freedom. But in order to give them that freedom and choice, I need to talk to the adults who are in charge of them, their parents and their teachers. So what I'll do, I'll make materials for kids and give them away online, and I'll make guidance for parents and give that away online too. And if I tick all those boxes at the same time, then kids all over the world will be on the right track, and I won't even need to be there. My purpose and my intention were clear, and then the impact that you have is obviously going to be the result of that. And then you get the feedback. I love this. This is great. I've shared this with my staff. After about 6 months, one lady in Bankstown, she wrote me an email saying, I've printed out every single statement that you've made on LinkedIn and made a booklet. And at school, we read it in staff meetings and we reflect upon what you say. And I thought, oh my God, this is awesome. And I thought, I can't stop. I can't stop doing this. Every day in the morning, I'm just going to write something down, put it online with a little picture and see how we go. And here we are today. I'm not some famous megastar or anything like that, but 5 years down the track after starting that, thousands of schools all over the world have got documents on their tables that I made in my living room. I started this really cute thing recently where on Facebook, I read a story at nighttime at 7 o'clock. It's called Storytime with Gav. And I have a book in my house. It's not great. You can see my fingers and I'm turning the pages. And I think that's what makes it kind of special, that it's not so clean cut. It's just like a man reading you a story in his house. I was going to do it just for lockdown. I thought, I'll just do it just for lockdown. And then this lady wrote me a message from Pakistan. And she said, my kindergarten children every day at 2 o'clock in Pakistan, which is 7 o'clock here in Australia, they all put their hand up and say, Miss, it's time for story time with Gav. And then she sent me a picture of all these little children in Lahore gathered around a tiny TV, and on the TV is me reading a book to them. And I thought, okay, I can't stop doing this either.